Hi, I'm Dr. Larissa, Channel Mum's women's health and fertility expert, and a very warm welcome back to the Channel Mum Fertility course. In this video, I'm going to be explaining when you should seek help and what help is out there for you to access if you're struggling to get pregnant.
So I'm going to start off talking about if you're trying to get pregnant naturally. It's quite common for this to take some time, especially if you're older and trying to get pregnant. It can be quite normal for this to take up to a year, sometimes 2 years. If after this period of time though, there is still no pregnancy, and depending what age you're at, then I think it's time to seek some help. The help that comes is going to be something that's recommended by your specialist depending on the tests that you have. That includes a combination of hormone tests as well as an ultrasound, just at a very basic level, but some of the tests can be a bit more complicated, as I've spoken about in video 2. One of the most basic techniques that we can use to help you if you're struggling to ovulate is to put you on a drug such as Clomid, which acts on your brain to try and make you ovulate. So this is a really simple technique that can be used over a couple of months in a regulated way in order to see if you can get pregnant. But it is important and vital that the sperm are normal if this technique is to be used. If the Clomid isn't working and you've tried it for, let's say, around 6 months, you can resort to using something called intrauterine insemination. Now, this is where we take the sperm, concentrate it, and deposit it using a catheter inside of the womb. However, this technique is only perhaps marginally better than trying to get pregnant through intercourse alone. There are certain situations where it is very useful and maybe the first line treatment, so say for example same-sex couples who are trying to get pregnant. However, again, if there are any issues with sperm, it's something that isn't effective and doesn't work, and you may then need to resort to using IVF. Now, this is the one that most of us have heard of, in vitro fertilisation, or sometimes something called ICSI, which is intracytoplasmic sperm injection. Starting off with IVF, so this is the most interventional technique that we use to help couples. Essentially, it means that the woman gets put on hormones that help to stimulate the ovaries to create several follicles and eggs that are then collected and fertilized with the partner's sperm. The advantage of this is twofold. One is that if the sperm is abnormal, we can use the special ICSI technique to inject the sperm into the egg directly and make sure that fertilization happens. However, the other advantage is also having and creating some frozen embryos that can be used to have another go at doing an implantation if the first attempt doesn't work, or using these and storing them to create future siblings in the future, so that you don't have to go through the whole IVF process again. And this is especially important if you're several years older, when your ovarian reserve and function has declined. So this summarizes some of the techniques that we can use to help you. Obviously, situations can be far more complex than that, but this is just trying to give you some basic pointers in a world that's actually really quite complicated and that most patients can feel very lost within. But just remember, you aren't alone. There is a lot of help that you can receive, and also please bear in mind that one of the most important things is to talk about your problems, whether that's with friends or a counsellor, in order to try and help to normalise your situation, because most people will have had some problems at some stage, and hopefully they can give you some practical advice in terms of what helped them to cope.
I hope that was helpful, and if you've been affected by any of the topics or issues discussed in the video, then please use the link below in order to connect to the new Channel Mum Trying to Conceive support group. We've created a special series of videos to help you at every stage of your journey in trying to get pregnant. I'm also going to be sharing my very special pregnancy and fertility smoothie that we will be making together, and that you can produce every day at home and use to help give you a nutritional boost on your way towards getting pregnant. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.